Southern Africa is facing one of its most destructive flood events in recent years. From South Africa to Mozambique, rivers are swelling, roads are disappearing underwater, and communities are being forced to evacuate their homes. In this video, we'll explore what's happening in the affected regions, including the famous Kruger National Park, Letaba, and the Crocodile River area. We'll also look at why these floods are happening, their impact on people and wildlife, and how communities are coping. This is not just a story of water. It's a story of resilience, nature, and the delicate balance between humans and the environment. Before we dive in, please like this video. It really helps the channel grow. If you enjoy learning more about Africa, subscribe to Africa Ranked for more stories and updates. And don't forget to share this video with friends or family who want to stay informed. Now, let's take a closer look at how these floods are affecting South Africa and Mozambique. South Africa has seen unprecedented rainfall over the past weeks. In Limpopo province, rivers like the Crocodile River have overflowed their banks, cutting off small towns and rural communities. The Letaba River, which runs through some of the most fertile and populated areas near Kruger National Park, has also reached dangerous levels. Residents in these regions have had to leave their homes with little warning, taking only essentials with them. Even Kruger National Park, one of South Africa's most famous wildlife reserves, has felt the impact. Low-lying camps and safari roads have been submerged, and some wildlife has had to move to higher ground. This has disrupted tours, local tourism, and the delicate ecosystems within the park. Authorities have deployed emergency teams to help with evacuations, while locals are forming makeshift bridges and emergency supply networks. In some towns, bridges are completely underwater, isolating communities and making relief efforts extremely challenging. Communities along the Crocodile and Letaba rivers are particularly vulnerable, as houses built near riverbanks are quickly inundated. Local schools and clinics have been forced to close temporarily, leaving many residents dependent on emergency shelters. Farmers are reporting destroyed crops and livestock losses, which may affect food supplies for weeks to come. Even small roads connecting towns have turned into rivers. Despite the danger, locals are showing resilience, using boats, tractors, and even makeshift rafts to move families and supplies to safety, or even makeshift rafts to reach higher ground or collect emergency supplies. Local markets have been submerged, leaving communities with limited access to food and essential goods. Despite these challenges, neighbors are helping each other, often sharing food, water, and even transport to safer areas. Southern Africa's vulnerability to floods is not new. Heavy summer rains, tropical storms from the Indian Ocean, and mountainous terrain can cause rivers to rise rapidly. But human activity makes it worse. Urban expansion and deforestation reduce the land's ability to absorb water. Drainage systems in smaller towns are often underdeveloped or poorly maintained. Climate change also plays a role, with more intense and unpredictable rainfall increasing the likelihood of severe flooding. In areas like Limpopo, where agriculture depends on the rivers, these floods are not just natural disasters, they are economic disasters as well. South Africa's floods aren't just affecting people. In Kruger National Park, many roads have become impassable, and some low-lying camps have been closed temporarily. Wildlife such as hippos, crocodiles, and even elephants have moved to higher ground, sometimes entering areas where humans live. The Crocodile River, normally a hotspot for safari sightings, has become dangerous and unpredictable. Tour operators are canceling trips, affecting local economies that rely heavily on tourism. Even small towns near the park, like Letaba, are struggling to maintain services as floods cut off access. Tourism isn't just about visitors. It supports jobs for rangers, guides, and local businesses, all of which feel the ripple effects of these floods. The human toll is severe. Families have lost homes, crops, and belongings. Roads that normally take 10 minutes to travel now require hours or are completely impassable. Children and the elderly are especially vulnerable, and access to clean water and medical care is a constant concern. In Mozambique, entire communities have had to move to higher ground. Temporary shelters are crowded, and aid organizations are working non-stop to provide essentials like food, blankets, and medical supplies. In South Africa, some rural villages are completely cut off due to submerged bridges and washed-out roads. Local communities have come together, forming volunteer networks to deliver supplies by boat or makeshift rafts. Even areas near Kruger National Park are affected, where some wildlife habitats have been temporarily flooded, forcing animals closer to human settlements. Farmers along the Crocodile and Letaba rivers report lost livestock and destroyed crops, adding economic hardship to the disaster. Schools and clinics in towns near flood zones have been closed or relocated, leaving residents dependent on emergency services. Despite the danger and uncertainty, locals are showing resilience, helping neighbors, coordinating relief efforts, and sharing scarce resources. This flood is not only a natural disaster, but also a test of community strength, resourcefulness, and cooperation in the face of extreme weather. Emergency services in South Africa and Mozambique have been mobilized. Rescue boats, helicopters, and temporary shelters are being deployed to the most affected areas. Non-governmental organizations are distributing food, water, blankets, and hygiene kits. Social media and local communication networks are helping connect communities with aid. Even in Kruger National Park, rangers are helping monitor wildlife and assist with areas affected by flooding. Tourism operators are coordinating to protect equipment, vehicles, and guest lodges. Community volunteers are also playing a critical role, often using boats, trucks, and even local knowledge to reach stranded families. Floods like these show the importance of better planning and infrastructure. Early warning systems, flood barriers, and well-maintained drainage can save lives. Communities near rivers like the Crocodile and Letaba need contingency plans, as well as access to shelters and emergency supplies. Climate change means these events may become more frequent and severe. Understanding the risks, improving infrastructure, and educating residents is more important than ever. Both governments and local communities are learning from these events, adapting their response strategies to be faster and more effective. The floods striking South Africa and Mozambique are devastating, but they are also a reminder of human resilience. From affected families to wildlife in Kruger National Park, communities are adapting, helping each other, and finding ways to survive. These events highlight the delicate relationship between nature and human activity, and the need to prepare for a changing climate. Africa's story is one of strength, adaptation, and hope, even in the face of overwhelming natural challenges. If you found this video insightful, please like it. It really helps the channel grow. Share it with anyone who wants to stay informed about Africa. And don't forget to subscribe to Africa Ranked for more stories that go beyond the headlines. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Put it on me. Put it on me.